Hello everyone. In this quick tutorial I'll be showing you how to resize images to be displayed either on a computer or on television set. So I have an image here. Basically, again, make sure you create a folder. Put your files inside that folder to keep everything organized. Make sure you put your name on the folder and so on before proceeding to do any kind of a post-production work. So I have my image here. I'm going to simply grab the image and open it up in PS stands for Photoshop. You can either do it that way or you can right click it and say open with Photoshop. Both works the same way. So basically you want to make sure if you can hold Option Command 0 to fit the image to the page, or just do Command plus to make it bigger or smaller. Now if I go up here, you go through image size, and as you could see, the image is 69 megabytes in size, which is very large for it to be displayed online. It's 20 inches wide by 13 inches or so height at 300 dpi. So this is very suitable for print, which and that's why the measurement units are also set to inches. So I'm going to cancel out of this. So the standard for prepping images to be displayed on a television set, HDTV television set, the standard size is 1280 by 720. However, if you're prepping files, but then let's say you have an image and you want it to be really big in the beginning and then slowly you want to zoom it out so it gets smaller, you want to make sure this number is at least 2 or 3 times larger than the finalized 1280 so that the image doesn't get pixelated. So I usually do a rough estimate, like I double or triple this number when I know I'm going to have the image come in really big and then zoom it in. But remember that when you build your files in iMovie, this is the standard number pixel dimensions. So that's this part. So we're going to go back and I'm going to just choose image size, and again this is set to inches, which is suitable for print. 300 inches always suitable for print. So we need to change this to pixel, and I'm gonna do kind of a rough just change this to 3000, because let's say I kind of anticipate having the image larger and I want to avoid pixelization, and I want to change the resolution to 72. Oh, this just change it back if yeah, there you go. Change the resolution first and then change the width, so this way you don't have to do it again. So the format, the resolution should be 72. The width, I'm doing a rough calculation, but if you want to be really accurate, you can do 1280. You can do 1280 times 3, 3840. Okay, that's maybe better. So 40. And so this is still pretty large. I'm going to say okay. And now I'm going to do file. You can do 2 different ways. If I just do file, save as, and do JPEG, I'm just going to say 72. And the color modes by default is RGB unless you change it. 72 RGB. And then I'm going to just you can make a new folder if you want to keep it really organized. Um, um, and then I'm going to just save it in there. You can just say prod01, so you can give it some numbers. And I'm going to go ahead and just see how large that file is. So once you go to your post-production folder, and it's 7.5 megabytes, which is still quite large. However, when you're making a film, that, you know, if you don't have 2000 images, that would be fine. If you need to make the file size even smaller than that, you can do it another way, which would be file export, and there's an option save for web, and from here, once I change the settings to 80 quality, if I click save, I'm gonna just say 2 and say save. It's going goes inside the same folder. Now let's see the difference in size. We have one at 7.7 megabytes, and the second one is basically almost half of that size. Another way that you can kind of ensure that the image, the actual size is not that large, if you know you're not going to do a major resizing when you're animating it, the file, you can kind of drop this number. I mean, I can just drop this to 2, and if I now automatically, this was cut in half, and if I just do file save, I'll just do this, the easier one, and I'll just do 3, and this time I generally like to keep it at 12 maximum, but you, if you really want to, you know, determine to make the file size smaller, in this window, you can go as low as 10, but I would recommend not to go any lower than that. And now let's see how large that file is. So that was the last file that we processed, was 1.7 megabytes. So basically, these are the different ways that you can resize your photographs to be displayed on computers or on television set.